This video is sponsored by the Outcast Seal.
Feeling like a seed in the ground, nigga, all I wanna do is grow. But that shit going too slow. Niggas be doing the most. Can wait till I make it and glow. Now let me just switch up the flow, switch up the pace.
For those who recognize anime subtleties, you'll find a new appreciation for this piece. On top of that, each person will have a one-of-one staple piece added to their fit. Outcast Seal, out now. No reason to wait, go get yours now.
Oh.
You guys can't see this yet. See.
Alright,
let's get into this.
They about to hit that call.
I saw a video on that. Talk briefly about that. And then I'm gonna get into what I'm gonna get into.
No problem.
But talk briefly about the black man and white woman. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Historically, black men were not allowed to marry white women until the Loving versus Virginia United States Supreme Court case in the 60s.
Yeah.
You could not marry them. So since that case was overturned, 67, 68, right around there, black men have married out their race more than all other men in America put together. Are you going to tell me it's a pure coincidence that the black man is absolutely in love with marrying his oppressor's daughter, and that doesn't have anything to do with the psychological residuals of slavery?
I'm going to give it to you on the flip side.
Go ahead.
Do you think it's a lot of the black man saying, I got to go have that white woman? Or some of these white women out here looking at, that's a god right there. I want that.
Mm-hmm. It's threefold.
Okay.
Number one, it's about a black man being an economic stimulus package to the white woman.
Okay.
Most black men.
I'm sorry. This video is a lot, bro. This video is a lot, bro.
You can't at the same time say that white women are in a higher socioeconomic status and the black man is climbing to go after that, and then saying that to the white woman whose economic status and socioeconomic status is higher is a stimulus package, or the black man is a stimulus package for her who's beneath her. That doesn't make sense. That right there, that was cap right there. That doesn't make sense. If she's already in a better place socioeconomically in the United States, how is the black man a stimulus package is then like boosting her up? That doesn't make any sense.
But does it have to be, if you're
stimulus package, like we got the stimulus check, that's money. So they're saying maybe very rich ones are, but that's not a racial thing. I'm not thinking being stimulated in the sense of, he said economic stimulus package.
Oh, okay. We'll
run it back just so you can see it.
Economic stimulus package to the white woman.
That's good. I don't know. I can't do that.
That's not true. How can those two can't exist at the same time?
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
All right, let's listen to this man's other points.
Yo, this I don't know, bro. This is a rough video.
I like this.
This is a rough video, bro.
This is funny.
Okay. Most black men. Economic stimulus package to the white woman.
Okay.
Most black men marry down in class when they marry these white women.
Okay.
You can't find a rich white woman who ever married a broke ass black man.
Boy.
Show me one rich white woman who has ever married a broke ass black man.
Okay, so I guess he kind of answered what I was saying there. Okay, he's saying that black men are only marrying poorer white women.
Yeah.
But that's not all women marry up in status. There's not how many girls you know that are gonna want to marry a guy broker than she is. You're not gonna find very many women
I will say
that
this.
want somebody poorer than them. The whole point is to be marrying up. Just like guys want girls that are more attractive, a woman's probably gonna want a guy that can give her a better life.
I guess this puts me in the hopeless romantic.
You're hoping for that?
No. Listen. I don't know. I don't really know the full.
Okay, I'm sure there is
definition term, but like, if we're talking about a relationship in the sense of love, in the sense of connection. Yo, if that's what we're talking about,
okay, go ahead.
then it's possible.
I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying that most people, yeah, but you can learn to love somebody that's rich. First of all, let's just look at this. Like, if there's 10 guys here,
hold on. So there's two things.
Why would you choose to love?
There's two things. Let me say this.
You can learn to love anyone.
Well, let me say this. There is something that I'm thinking about in the sense of you can have the connection based where you guys are just thinking about
we're just talking about
how
marriage,
you feel.
We're talking about marriage though, not just relationships.
But you're in a relationship
to get there first
before you get to the marriage.
But okay, but how many women do you know that would want to be in a relationship where they're supporting the relationship financially, like economically? Not that many. They don't want to feel you as a burden. Guys, it's expected that that you're gonna have to pay for dates and things like that.
Yeah, you have to.
Most women are not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drive him around. I'm gonna pay for his stuff. I'm gonna make sure that he's good.
Yeah, but I think that at that point, isn't it? That's like 100%. You're taking over 100% of the financial responsibility.
I'm saying most. All I'm saying is that.
Okay, so what are we talking about? Like 90%? Because like I'm thinking if you're financially taking over 90%,
women are gonna take over 50% of. I feel that's in my experience, a woman's not gonna take 50% of whatever the things you guys are dealing with.
I think it also depends on the stage of the relationship, though.
Yeah, I agree on that, but I'm just saying that his point of saying that it's because women. Or that it's because black men are going after poorer or less economically sound white women. I'm just saying that's a general thing it's a men and women dynamic, not a race dynamic. I'm saying that women are going to be going after a guy that has more money, regardless of his race. Yeah, why would you want equal or at least a little bit more? Is it a better spot? You're not going to be going toward. I'm talking about money they have, not necessarily family stuff.
And then when I think about it, like
your money.
Depending on your financial status, which is kind of going to coincide with your social status, you're not going to really meet another person, even if their race is also a factor in that. That's not similar to your level.
Yeah, for most people, that's not going to, unless somebody like pops off and becomes really rich in the process, but it's going to be somewhere similar.
Because it's like,
people aren't.
Think about it, like we were just on the topic of moving out of your community, right? Where it might not have been as financially stable.
Okay.
So you're now going into a location that you feel more safe in, or you feel is better in some type of definition, and now that's going to place different type of people around you based on your financial status now because of your job.
I see what you're saying.
So
okay,
you see what I'm saying? So it's like it's hard for you to even like. How are you really gonna meet somebody that's
from the same place lower? You are. You're saying that if I see what you're saying. Okay, so you're saying basically that say if you're a black person and you move out from where you grew up because you now say you're a dentist or something, you're not making $200,000 a year or something. You can now move into a nicer place in a nice suburb somewhere. How many other black people of the opposite gender or whatever it is, how many other black people, period, are going to be in that same, who have done that same thing in that same community? Yep. Not that many. You're already going to
you're not going to see a lot of
black people, just period.
Yeah.
So the people you're interacting
unless you move to a established suburb or gated community that
already has a lot of black people.
That has black people that created that already. That's the only way.
That's what you're saying. Okay, so that makes sense. There's not even expecting there. Yeah, so expecting there to be people that you're around that are going to be the same as you are. If you are already an outlier, it's not going to happen that much.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So this ain't about love. This is about agenda.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, the black man wants the white woman to provide him with a degree of psychological validation. Only a low self-esteem having ass Negro would marry a white female in the first place because you feel that if I can get the white man's woman, then maybe that makes me feel a little bit more equal to the white man.
Okay, I'm gonna say this about this. That is men and women dynamic just in general. A guy wants an attractive woman because it makes him feel like, oh, I can get an attractive woman.
That's fair.
That's not racing. This man's just painting it with race. But this is a general
honestly,
man and
when you
woman
said that,
dynamic.
I just thought of
This is
like
a-
that's other things that's just in your mind for you to be saying something like that.
I think that yes, maybe I just think that race definitely plays a key in it. But before race, you want attractive women just off the fact that you want.
I think
that.
like.
Good.
Like, nah, I can't say that.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yo, okay. So
let me get my water real quick. Let me get that.
Bro, you're this bro, I'm trying to watch some anime, bro. I'm trying to watch some anime,
We get
bro.
the best conversations when he's talking about this stuff.
It's too deep, bro. It's too deep,
That's
bro.
what we need. That's what we need. You need people to weigh in on this issue.
Alright, so like I'm thinking that where you're from, right? Depending on the type of culture that's around you,
Yeah.
especially in your times in school,
Yeah, that's all.
is going to influence who you're attracted to.
Okay, but I don't know if he's 100% talking about people that grew. That would be like second generation kind of. Because you didn't grow up in. I guess, in like a urban environment, anyways. But I think he's talking about people that move out. So I think they're specifically talking about like athletes. The people who do that in one generation are the unicorns that are athletes who have high paying jobs, who are rappers or artists or something where you could pop out in one generation. I guess that's true for doctors and things like that as well. But I don't really know. You can't, like the average doctor is not on social media for you to watch their lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm kind of lost in what you're saying right now.
I'm saying that he's not, you're talking about school, but I'm saying that, for example, somebody like...
I'm talking about where you, like...
Yeah, but you're okay. But, okay, so let's say there's a basketball player who grew up in Brooklyn, and then he ended up getting drafted by the Lakers, and so he moves to LA, and now he's living in LA, but in like the nice areas where where the rich people are. Okay. He went to school in some PS something, but who he's interacting with when he's in where he is in his life now is different people. So what you were saying about it depends on where you went to school, I don't think that plays 100%.
It's not like concrete. Just now that you went to school somewhere, this is now concrete in the sense of who you like or who you're attracted to. I'm just saying, I think that plays a factor into the development of what type of females.
The types that you like.
The types of females that you like.
I guess what they're acting is though, I don't know how many places, maybe down south places, but how many places, what schools are there where it's just all black people? Like there's no Spanish, there's no other, it's just all black people. I don't know. I've never even been to a place. Like even in Atlanta, there's mad other peoples. There are areas that are very black. But I wonder about their schools. I feel like there's got to be like Asian people there. There's got to be like even in a minority.
Again, but like that's I can't tell you on
I don't really know about
the
that.
possible like variables
I know up here
in
in
what
New York
plays
State
into the
not-
fact that you're at a school that may be more dominant in one race.
Yeah.
But you still go for the minority race. I don't know what plays into that.
Wait, you said, but you still go. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, but let's talk about like here in New York. Like if you live in New York City, I don't know that many places where there's no places where it's just one race. Maybe unless it's white people, like unless it's like white schools where it's like mostly white people. But I don't know any places where if it's like in the hood somewhere, there might be a lot of black people, but there's also mad Hispanic people. There's mad like immigrants and stuff like that in the same school. Yeah. So I don't understand what are these places, I guess in my experience, where you would be having, if you were in a place where it's already a lot of black people, a community that's already a very black community, you're still going to have other races around you. Because if it's a spot this is a black community that's like lower socioeconomic, everyone else that's also low socioeconomic, immigrants, people like that, are also be in that same area because that's what we can afford. You know what I mean? So I don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about like this pure black place. There haven't been like black communities in, I don't know when they stopped going, but since like that was like pre-segregation, when there was like Black Wall Street and this type of stuff. We don't live in that world. I don't know why they keep acting as though there's places where
if we're being,
there's not that many places. Atlanta's like the biggest hub we know of. That's like
another thing is though, right? Like even pre-segregation and still post-segregation, there was still like areas where each culture kind of like New York City. There's Little Italy, Chinatown. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what happened with those schools, but yeah, I guess you're saying that certain times
there was people went to their areas and you kind of you chilled in your areas, but everybody knew
where the people are.
Yeah, but like it's not to say that there wasn't still other cultures involved in those areas, in towns, in locations.
But you were just a minority in that area.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. I guess I'd have to look up more to see when is it changed to where it is now. There's not really.
Yo, I ain't no professor on this.
At least for schools, I don't know anybody that went to a school in New York State that was all one race, unless it was white, and you were like out in the country, some other out rural area. I don't know. And there's no school that's just all Asian, all black. This is not how it works. No school that's 100% Asian.
I feel like there's definitely. I feel like there could be. I feel like there could be. I feel like there could be.
Maybe in some areas.
I'm thinking where my mind goes is private school. Some type of private school where
there would still be mostly white people. There's mostly white people in the country, so why would it be? So there may be a higher percentage of Asian people there, but there's going to be white people.
There's still going to be others. Yeah,
I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I guess I'm saying that the only people that you or I could care about are the people that we have an influence over. Unless you have a larger platform, then I guess that elevates the people you have an influence over. But when people like Dr. Umar are making these things, they're talking about they're talking to the individual black person like you or I who just working a regular 9-to-5 job. They're not talking about people, and they're saying that you should be living a certain type of life because you are
you would be a role model.
You're a role model for everyone else, and that's true. But I'm saying that your span of influence is strongest in your family, in your extended family, and of course like the people that you're very close to, your other friends and things like that.
Yeah.
So if you can get those people out of a bad situation, do that. I don't understand why.
So I think that's also
why there's
like
a problem with that.
That's a talk about also like staying in your hometown, staying in the spot that you're from.
But some people's hometowns aren't great. Not everyone's hometown is great.
Yeah, but in the sense of in the context of your argument, right, with influence, you staying in your hometown, you know, homie down the road, you know your boy's 30 minutes that way. You feel me? So like,
some people do.
You staying around, it allows you to like you're still around your school, so you can maybe be involved in school events. You can be involved in other things while you still got your 9-to-5.
Well, I guess it's like this. Like, do you think it's easier to fix a school district that's not being like well funded and all those types of things, or just move, if you have the ability to move to a better school district, which is what people do because you only do so much in your life.
Yeah, because
it's a lot of effort to clean up an entire town, and there's a lot of factors
you can't do it by yourself. It would take a collective of people to essentially.
So the individual just moves to the better place because that's what I can do with what I have.
Because it's easier.
And they have to deal with people being upset about it.
It's easier.
But the thing is, like,
but that goes back to the fact of like just people's like the majority of people, they want to get a good job, have a good life, and take care of their family.
Yeah.
But to necessarily make an impact on the community and to want to like make that type of change, that's not the majority of people.
Yeah, I also think that that's true. Yeah, I agree with you. That's not. I think it's also that some people are like afraid of moving to other places. I think people like him keep that fear. They don't understand that you have the same. I don't know if they don't understand, but they're not acknowledging the fact that you have just as much right to be anywhere in the United States as any other people. You don't need to stay here, and that doesn't. Your location doesn't define you. Is what I'm saying. So if you are going up the road, you're black. If you're going out in the suburbs, you're black. You're gonna be who you are wherever you are. So
that's true.
I think it's better for us to take who we are and go to a new place and improve who we are and improve our environment than it is to feel as though we have to stay where we've always been, and whatever the problems are there are just what's going to be. You know what I mean? Because I think that's the same mindset of saying, like, you need to be staying here, you need to be doing this because this is what we've always been doing. There's other things, like we could make if you're talking about people saying like things like we need to be making black communities and things like that, I agree with that. We don't need to be making black communities where the only reason they're there is because people can't afford to go anywhere else. You see what I'm saying? The reason why the hoods and things like that exist is not because black people, I just love being here where I don't have that much space and where there's all these problems. People can't afford it. So I feel like people are romanticizing that experience, and it's not an experience that people choose, it's an experience you're born into, and unless you have some type of circumstance that allow you to get out, that's where you're going to be. So
no, I think I can definitely agree with you on the fact of
we're romanticizing the fact that people just have this life that they were born into. It's not that they would of course want something better, but this is where they're at.
In some degree, we definitely romanticize bad. Like tough times is like the
bad
cool thing or something.
Yeah, and he's saying, and he's kind of emboldening that because it's easier. At least I know for myself, it's easier for me to romanticize my own pain and my own struggles because it makes it so that I can deal with them. Because it makes it so I can not deal with it, I can cope with it, I guess. Because dealing with it, you have to go into this unknown space and now look at it from a different perspective and all those other things that are not as easy to do. And I'm talking about just for personal problems. But if you're talking about a problem that you can't change, like where you live and how much money you have, it's better just to make it, I guess mentally it's better to make it so that it seems better and this is the right thing to do than to feel as though I'm stuck here and there's nothing I can do about it. Because then you feel hopeless. When you take this angle, then at least you're choosing it because of your, because that's what you're choosing to do. And I think that's the same thing with like white supremacy. There's people that live in shitty areas and they want something to blame it on. So you got to blame on why, it's these black people, it's these immigrants coming, and that's the reason why I live here. And now I can own that, and I can feel okay about why I'm here. It's not because it's not because something I can't control. It's these other people I can point to it. I can now make sense.
Right. I lost my job because somebody else came in.
So it's that same thing where people are like, I didn't get this job. It's not because I wasn't prepared. No, it's white people. They didn't do it right. They because of me, they saw I was black, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that's not the case to an extent, but like there's people. There's
somewhere down that chain where
it wasn't necessarily all that. You might have been able to have
make a decision
if you had done other things.
You can make a decision.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, it was a good video.
There's a lot of emotion in that.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe this, and we'll be back with some new stuff. Yo, bro. Bro.